नमः। गते शोको न कर्तव्यो भविष्यं नैव चिन्तयेत् वर्तमानेन कालेन वर्तयन्ति विचक्षणाः. The wise always operate in the present. They do not mourn over the past, nor do they worry about the future. So they are in the present. This is exactly what Krishna also tells Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra when he gets agitated seeing his kith and kin in the battlefield. He refuses to fight. So Krishna says, Sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labhau jaya jayo. Arjuna, please treat happiness and sorrow, gain and loss, victory and defeat the same. All this is just transient. Everything is my Maya. Eventually he says everything is just a Maya. It is just a veil which is in front of you. Nothing, what you see is just illusion. It may not be real. And what you imagine may not be unreal. So come out of this veil of Maya and do your duty. Do not worry about the outcome of that, is what Krishna tells Arjun. So talking about Maya, not even the great celestial Rishi Narad is free from the veil of Maya. He also gets tormented. He also gets tempted and agitated and all of that. And it did happen. So Narad once was. He was actually feeling a little vain about himself that he had taken the vow of celibacy. He had decided not to get married, and somewhere deep in his mind he felt that I am the greatest devotee of Lord Vishnu because I have nobody and I have dedicated myself to the service of the Lord. So he undertakes severe penances even more, and this sort of frightens Indra. He says, what is this person up to? Is he trying to usurp my throne? And he sends Kamdev and a beautiful Apsara. So the moment these two people arrive, the entire scenery changes, and the Apsara tries to tempt sage Narad, but Narad is truly immersed in meditation and penance, and he is not at all perturbed, and the Apsara goes away. It was a failed attempt. So after some time, Narad wakes up and he realizes and he says, see, I could overcome temptation. I am really the greatest. Let me go and meet Lord Shiva, because he also is supposed to have overcome the temptations of Kamdev. So he goes there and he tells proudly to Shiva, see, actually Indra had sent Kamdev to disturb my penance, but that was not successful. See how strong I am. I am a true devotee of the Lord. Then Lord Shiva told him, okay, that's good, but don't be so proud about yourself. Then he says, okay. Narad was not very happy. He said, why is Lord Shiva not very appreciative of me? Anyway, I'll go to Vishnu himself and I will declare. So he goes to Vishnu and he tells him, see, I'm such a true devotee of you, oh my Lord. I have nothing, I have nobody, no bondage, nothing. I'm completely dedicated to your service. And I have also overcome Kamdev's temptations, he proudly declares. Then Vishnu says, fine, it's good that you have been able to overcome all sorts of temptations. So, all right, let us see, good, he says. And Narad, thinking that, oh, I am now above all temptations, so he goes, happily he goes. Now there, suddenly, as he's on his intergalactic travel, so as he is traveling, he suddenly sees a beautiful city. He sees a wonderful, beautiful, glittering city below. What is this? Let me go down and see. So he descends and he goes to the palace. There is a king over there, and it so happened that the king was looking for a groom for his daughter. His daughter was called Srimati. So Narad looks at the bride and he says, Lord Vishnu himself must come and take you. You are so beautiful. Then she says, yes, I have Lord Vishnu in my mind. And she doesn't say, but she has been praying that Lord Vishnu should come and marry her. So then Narad, after some time, he feels, this lady is so pretty, so beautiful. I think I should marry her. Then he immediately prays to Lord Vishnu and he says, oh Lord Vishnu, please can you give me your face? I would like to have the face of Lord Vishnu, of you yourself. I'd like to have that face. Then I'd like to have the face of Hari, he says. Then Vishnu says, fine, you can have the face of Hari. So be it, granted. So immediately the next day Narad walks into the Swayamvara is organized for the Princess Srimati, and all the kings are sitting there, and Narad also walks. As soon as he walks into the palace, everybody looks at him and they're laughing at him. He's wondering, why is everybody laughing at me? Oh, they're welcoming me perhaps. Now what has happened is, Hari in Sanskrit also means monkey. So since he asked for a face like Hari, the Lord Hari has given him a monkey face, and he walks, and Narad doesn't realize why everybody is laughing at him. Then the princess comes with a varmala, and then she's and with a garland, and Narad thinks that, oh, she's walking towards me, I'm going to be garlanded. But just at that, but she doesn't, she just walks past. So he's upset, what is happening? Why is she not garlanding me? I've got the face of I've got the face of Hari, why is she not stopping near me? Then but she's not bothered, she's, because her mind is completely set on Vishnu, and she's waiting for Vishnu to come. Then just at that instant Vishnu arrives, and she immediately garlands him. Then now this infuriates Narad. He says, what? Then he looks at Vishnu and he says, you have cheated me. And he is extremely upset. You have deceived me, you are a traitor. He says this in front of the entire audience. And then Vishnu says, in what way have I betrayed you? Tell me. And he says, you said you will give me your face, and you will, and my plan was to get married to this beautiful woman. Then Vishnu says, yes, I have indeed given you the face of Hari. And then everybody starts laughing at him, and everybody starts making fun of him, and says, monkey faced, monkey face. That is when he realizes that he has the face of a monkey. And then Vishnu says, oh Narad, you are such a scholar of Sanskrit, didn't you know that Hari also means monkey? I gave you what you asked for. Then he was so upset, he started, he was in such a mournful mood, he was very upset. Just then Vishnu shakes him up, and then he wakes up as though from a trance. He looks around. There is no princess, there is no, the palace is not there, the kings are not there, nobody. Only he and Vishnu. Then he looks at it, touches him, and he asks, do I have my face back? He says, of course you have your face back. Then he says, what happened? Oh Vishnu, what happened? Oh Lord, what happened? Where is everybody? Where was I? And where have you brought me? Vishnu says, I didn't bring you anywhere. It was just that I gave you a glimpse of my Maya. I told you everything is Maya, everything is illusion, and you are saying that you are above temptation. So I wanted you to see for yourself how much you are above temptation, and that is why I created a veil of Maya, just to make you realize. So Narad suddenly realizes that, oh, so this was just a Maya, it was not real. He says, yes, it was not real. And few minutes back, you were mourning and you were shouting and you were agitated. Earlier you were happy, then you were upset. See, this was just a veil of Maya in front of you. That thing was real. This is what your form, the way you are here is real. So be in the present. Be what you are. Don't aspire for anything else, and don't be proud or vain about anything. Alright, this is the advice that Vishnu gives Narad, and Narad realizes that then he is very happy that he is not into all of that. He is happy, he goes back, and he is a wiser soul. So, so this is what Lord Vishnu reveals Maya, the illusion, to him, and that is the essence of the sloka also. The underlying central idea of this is that do not mourn over what has already happened. There's nothing much that we can do, nor should you worry about the future, because that is also not in our hands. So, gate shoko na kartavyo bhavishyam naiva chintayet vartamanena kalena vartayanti vichakshanaha. The wise people always live in the present and take things as they come. Namo Namah.